and it's lights out and away we go here in Formula Sundays. Through the final chicane, and the AlphaTauri hits the wall of champions. Welcome back, everybody, and welcome to the Elite tier. Same track, of course, same casters. And here we are again. Relatively, I think, decently filled grid here with 16 people as well. Here as well, championship is under Jova. Seagull secured that last week. Apart from that, Hussein Rapid still can come second. Hussein currently has a 17-point lead, as Rapid has missed some races. Injury. Apart from that, I'm not really sure. There's a little bit of a Jannemann and Marceljan battle going on. The Jan battle here. Marceljan currently on 118 points and Jannemann on 112. So they could be fighting for P4 still here. But yeah, constructors are well in the hands of Mercedes. Alpine is second. There is not much that Alpine can do to still win. Aston, Red Bull and Ferrari though might be battling for P3 still, so good performance by Hussein is crucial to lock that in tonight. And apart from that, I think we're just looking for a fun race to end the season off.
We've got a good few challenger names in. Mr. Junior has returned along with Nitro and Ocean, both taking up those Williams seats. Kingsman is around as well, so gives us that sort of 16 as opposed to the 12 that it was set to be. Just starting to see a few of the drivers get out there.
Yeah, I've just read in the chat that there is apparently rain coming in, so I would understand and see how people want to go out early. I see a bunch of guys on Inters anyways, as they are following the tradition of well, qualifying on Inters, the top guys here, and then starting from the back.
Jannemann will be first one to attempt to set a lap in that Alpine, as you say on the Inters.
Yeah, I think it's Hussein, Jannemann, Seagull, Rapid, Jimsky, and I wonder if Marceljan is in on this as well. Nope, he is on the softs. He's gotten 2 race wins this season, more than ever before. Which, yeah, is overall pretty nice for him, I'd say. From what I've heard, he's very happy about how this season went. So, why Inters yet? This could be an interesting pole sitter. Yeah, I guess. Can't really stop the drivers from making bad strategy calls, right?
Definitely not. There's someone would play Rapid having a little bit of an issue just in start of sector 2 there. That appears to be back on track.
Oh, Nitro invalidated his lap.
Yeah, and get me first to the line. And a 120, so yeah, significantly slower.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's driving into some dry conditions.
Yes.
Ed might be one of the fastest drivers that are currently on softs and actually try to qualify. Marceljan, I think, would be my other name for pole. I think one of these two is gonna get it.
load on a flyer, I think. So this might give us our first true indication as to where we're at. 1:16.9, so not exactly faster than the elite
Yeah.
Challenger sort of top end, but Cherry 1:16.9 as well. So at least we've got a sort of time to beat down in Emil 1:16.5. Again, we're still expecting to see them. Kingsman a 1:16.4, so a Challenger driver coming in and already beating, 4-5 drivers in the end who are all on softs and not Janman, who is of course on the inters.
I mean, ultimately, Kingsman is well suited for elite pace-wise anyways. He has been dominating Challenger. And, yeah, this is just one of the indicators that shows that he belongs up here. I think guesses before were like high 115s. I think the top guys here, which would be Janaman, Hussein, Rapid, Jimsky, Seagull, that could be going
I can safely
well.
say in a practice session with Seagull
Yeah.
earlier, he was I think he did hit a 1:15.5.
Yeah.
Actually, in fact, so the potential is absolutely there for it. But whether those top guys like you mentioned, Janman for example, and Hussein on the inters, do actually sort of go out their way to set down a fastest lap on the softs is a very different question altogether.
Yeah. And I mean, Seagull is even getting smoked on quali pace by Rapid.
Jimsky has wrecked his front wing there in sector 2. Yeses, and taking out a sign on his way back to the pits, limping there.
It would be interesting to see who is on which set. I think that we can do. East apparently drove on mediums, his current PB. But that puts him pretty much at the end of the drivers who are driving slick tires. Fabian, you seem to have weather intel. Do you know if it's a wet race as well, or is it a full dry race? So we might be looking at Seagull here, or Seagull Rapid here, coming up next. Actually, nah, let's watch a soft runner if there is one available, and that is currently, I think, MQ. Just exited corner turn 3 and is now in the end of sector 1.
Ocean, yeah, as you said, purple sector 1. On those soft tires and coming around through the S's. We've seen a couple of drivers go off, 2 in the Challenger. One so far in Elite, but Jimsky managing to not completely wreck his car, just the front wing in the end. So you will get another pop at it.
MQ117 here, is just behind his teammate for now. Let us see what the Williams can do. Ocean, also 117, but a lower
P7.
one. Nitro is on an invalid lap, so gonna try again. Has saved up a lot of ERS. Must have cut the corner in the first turn already. So, yeah. Given that they said in the beginning rain in 10 minutes inbound, that should be about in like 1 or 2 minutes. Pretty much gonna be the last chance for anyone here.
161 from Ed now.
No way Ed is that fast. Dude, the quality times were almost that in Challenger. Like, I think, was it Tianjin with the 16.3? That's just how it is.
He's had enough. Seen enough.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if the drivers see like weather stuff that it's about to be raining, probably not worth going out again.
Not good for Nitro, who's already low on fuel.
Yeah. Has not set a lap time yet, so I assume he's just gonna bring this to the end. And, well, will at least not start last then. That's looking decent at least. Let's see. 17 low as well here, P8 for him. Yes, probably about what his quali time was in Challenger as well. Harry on an invalid lap. Marcellian is 2000s up as of now. Let's see if he can keep it up through the middle sector. The 10th is at least gonna get him ahead of Kingsman. He can keep it on track during this last sector here.
The purple sector 2 to note there as well for him.
Oh, Kingsman.
Kingsman improves though. 116 flat nearly, jeez.
Oh well, that is not gonna be a position gain for Marcellian then, who has improved a lot, but yeah.
Yeah, and would have done had Kingsman himself not improved. Absolutely flying there in that Mercedes.
Yeah. Jannemann has
Jannemann's actually put down
yeah.
a soft, yeah, he's put down a soft lap, and that is a,
to be honest,
decent
I think
one.
he is more keen on battling it out with Marcellian here than on starting from the back with Jimsky, etc. So it's gonna be 4 cars from the back here, I think, who willingly start that low, which is Rapid Hussein and Jimsky.
With Siegel, who is still yet to leave the pit at any point during this session.
Murphsman does it again, yeah. Challenger driver.
Oh, and Jimsky's invalidated again.
Oh well. He's not gonna move much.
Yeast is
up.
just, yeah.
He's cutting a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit. He's turned the S's into... Oh!
I assume he did not want to return to the pits. I mean, it's
Whether he wanted to or not, he's not.
Oh yeah,
He
yeah.
might
The
check
raindrops are
himself in the
falling.
hospital, to be honest with that one, but
Yeah, I think like
Sure,
the
it's
drivers
spectacular.
saw the raindrops, and now it's pretty much clear that you're not going to improve anymore. But at least the condition now adjusts to Jimsky's tires here. Race is dry, okay, cool. Yeah, okay, I love a dry race here. I'll enjoy that. I mean, honestly, the inter race there was not too bad. There's still a lot of action that was had on track.
oh, definitely, it was tasty. Oh,
Yeah.
Emil's also hit a wall. That looks nice.
Jimsky has just spun. Is Ed still going? Oh yeah, Ed is actually has just improved
yeah, he'll
in the
do
last
enough.
lap. Yeah.
Do enough to get a 115 if he keeps this up.
Let's see.
He's 1/10 better than he was. Should not only give him a 115, but ultimately pole
I think that
as
was
well.
a bug. This is now the entry into Sector 2. And it must have like shown his improvement on his PB lap. Because I don't think he has improved
Yes.
just now. And he is 0.3 down.
Yeah.
Now they're retired. I assume retirements are gonna come through more and more. Well, that was, I think, Jimsky there.
No, Lauda's out.
Oop.
Some Lauda is also
Oh yeah, yeah.
retired in some fashion.
I think in the pits he was not on track,
Yes.
if I remember correctly. Yeah, Yeast really showed us his speed, I guess.
Oh, Ed's just lost it round there and ups the pit.
Yeah, I mean he was like 1.5 seconds slower anyways.
Yeah.
So
Jimsky's having a rare time.
life is a highway.
Truly spectacular, really, from the Finn. Oh, yeah, not making the pits there. Oh no, maybe. Yeah, no. Well,
A 10-point turn.
let's see where this goes. Honestly, not particularly caring about whoever it is that's on a. Oh, it's Yanman that's on an out lap, and presumably Ocean that's on a flying lap. But let's see where Jimsky ends up. Because Ocean's invalidated anyway. We should get a good view of him as well.
Yeah, let's see. I mean, I doubt Gentleman can still improve. But it seems like he's actually trying to. So, okay, there's the invalidation. Yeah, he can't barely make it around. Yeah, and there's the retirement. So, yeah. The driver's accepted now, I guess, that it is just straight up not possible for them to improve.
It's a very interesting exchange here between Ocean and
reference for sure.
Jimsky. It's gotta be.
So who's playing the oh god, the Harvester?
Oh yes. Well, I'm gonna assume Yeast. There's always chaos when Yeast's involved.
Yeah, but Yeast is already dead. Satch.
Yeah. You have to wait for the actual race for that one then.
Yeah, true.
I would assume.
Okay, yeah. I mean, we have 2.5 minutes left on the clock.
But we're rating coming down. I can't imagine we're going to see any improvements anyway. So, Kingsman, pole after finishing a very comfortable P1 in Challenger, and you know, by that also not just being Mexico City, but the entire season in the Drivers' Championship, finds himself pole in Elite for the last race of the season as well.
He was actually not on pole in Challenger, but I guess
he was not. No, it was Tiancha.
Yeah. Like if I can't get pole in Challenger, I guess I have to get pole in Elite then. Unfortunate.
Seems he's still going backwards.
What a glorious sight.
So is he going to try and keep this in the white lines, and is this going to be his lap? We're about to find out. If he keeps it in the lines and registers a time, then this will truly be one of the qualifying laps of all time.
Ed has had the start to one of the qualifying laps of all time. I am relatively certain he was gonna try, but he immediately lost the car and crashed into a wall.
Good. Seeing Ed from Jimsky's perspective, even better at this point. It's following the racing line. Yep, very nice. Clean through the first corner. And round through the second. Lovely from Jimsky. Third one's nice and easy for him.
Oh, he's getting pretty good at this.
Yeah, he is.
Actually surprised that the spray is coming off in the right direction.
Ed is on his way. Oh. Now there's a slipstream for Jimsky for all of about half a second.
Why are his lines better than mine? He's in reverse.
Mine too, Nitro. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. Oh, yeah, it's a tight couple turns here, but he's through.
Jimsky
just about.
Yeah, and a good Trackmania player here. He knows the turning radius is better if you drive backwards, so he's using that to the fullest here in the rain. Wonder if he's even getting to the finish line within the 2.5 minutes he has left.
I should think so, but we'll see. I suppose you might have to pick up the pace a little bit through the S's. He's got up to 55 miles per hour, so. He's making some headway.
Oh, he's off track. Yeah. No invalidation though. Strong save.
2 sectors down. He's just got the one more to go. 2 seconds to do it, 2 minutes to do it in, but it's obviously the
I wonder if
tightest and slowest section of the 3.
Wonder if you can run out of fuel while going backwards.
It's entirely possible.
Oh!
Oh!
Oh! Oh!
No invalidation because
yeah.
it's the exploit that we've all been made well aware of. That is
Yes.
exactly where that is. So Jimsky banned for a season.
Yeah.
For using that exploit during his qualifying lap.
Yeah, but
So
then
it's a 3:12.
Jimsky got his run. Oh, and
Jimsky
Ed,
banned.
oh my god. Ed is barely hanging on. Is that a track reset? Ben.
Honestly, it's a shocking display of sports and unsportsmanlike behaviour from the 2 drivers.
Well.
That nearly took as long as Challenger race.
Yeah, true, man. Honestly, it's not far off. At least the race will be dry, copium. What am I doing here? Okay, anyways, Kingsman on pole, ahead of Ed, Marcian and Jannemann. Positions 4 and 5, I think, in the driver's standings now, 3 and 4 on the grid. Miels has been having some banging performances recently. Cherry in the second Ferrari, followed by Lauda. The two Challenger AlphaTauris in the Williams here, Ocean and Nitro. East MQ and Monsieur Genier, last qualifiers here for the ones who actually tried.
Yes.
So it does look sunny indeed. Someone is a big fan of Europe there. A couple of people are actually. Imagine rooting for Europe and bringing like a European flag to a race. I don't know, man.
Oh, there's 2 of them as well.
Yeah, right? Like, why did the game think this was a
Someone's
good idea?
got Jimsky's finish flag out. After seeing that qualifying performance, they felt, you know what? I'm all in.
Yeah, we have a couple of Ferrari fans. I spot 3 Polish flags. Even though I don't know, do we even have a Polish driver on the real F1 grid right now? Yeah, and Marcel.
Oh, in the real F1 grid? No. Yeah. Do not believe we do.
I didn't think so neither. Last one must have been Kubica. Well. Into the race we go. Yeah, medium seems to be the go-to strat here. Let's see the race start. Kingsman seemingly got away nicely enough. Let's see what Ed can do. Slots in behind in the slipstream here. Side by side there, Jannemann and Marcian. Gonna be some cars wide into turn 1. Oh yeah, and there has been a
yeast.
crash.
I told you it was yeast. It was always going to be yeast.
I'm not entirely sure of how much he could do there. It looked like he was slapped in the rear and then kind of just spun into another car, and at least there didn't happen too much, right?
I think it was Cherry he maybe made contact with, because Cherry's dropped a fair bit back and it looked like a flash of red that he collided with, but irrespective of that, front sort of 4 or 5, keeping it quite nice. Mildly concerned that Hussein, who is on Inters, has already made it up to P6. Whether concerned is really the right word for it, but Rapid also P7.
Yeah.
So those 2 sort of managing to avoid all of it and benefit, in fact, off of the chaos that he seemed to end up in the middle of.
Emils has also gotten a position against Jannemann here, as he opted for the hards with the disadvantage at the start. Now has to defend against Hussein and Rapid, or just let them through. I'm not entirely sure what his plan is here anyways. Ed and Kingsman battle for P1 here, and it seems like Ed is just through. So let's watch further down. Hussein about to make a move. Oh lord. A little bit of contact there. Kind of booting the Alpine out of the way. But,
Ooh, maybe a little bit more. There's a second helping at it on Janneman, who the only driver starting on the hard tires.
yeah,
Most
Seagull and...
oh no, sorry, Seagull, MQ, and
yeah.
Lauda.
Lauda? No, Lauda is on mediums. Yeast has actually pitted for hards already.
Yeah,
Oh, Lauda has
was not
started on
hard.
the hards. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, okay,
and
sorry.
is
Yeah,
pitted
yeah.
for mediums.
Yeah, fair
Yeast
enough.
was on the softs, I think, off the
Yes.
start.
Yes, must have gotten some damage from the collisions he's had. So I suspect that Janman's P6 is not safe for much longer. As Rapid is about to attack him.
Okay, Cherry, I see. P13, but second fastest lap off of back of lap 2. DRS now enabled.
Yeah, I mean, Cherry, of course, with a little bit of open air and the added benefit of quick drivers, so he's not running into traffic as of now.
And we'll see this first bout of DRS come through between sector 2 and 3 as Ed and Kingsman go side by side, and Kingsman just about holding on to his lead, but Ed being somewhat off the track. He was forced is a very different question. I didn't get the best angle at it.
Janneman and Rapid here trying to go side by side through the S's, but it's not really possible, and so they don't. So yeah, Kingsman and Ed, also interesting battle there. Saw Ed briefly very off track. I wonder if that was where maybe like a little bit too ambitious there from the Mercedes, but we may see. Hussein and Rapid are now back in the pack with the top medium runners, so this train is going to be very, very interesting in the next few laps. Let's see. Kingsman getting overtaken by 2 because the DRS is just so much more powerful there. He's of course the only one without.
And will be for this section too, because the detection zone is, you know, just that before that last corner in sector 3, so he's going to be at the mercy of Emil for this next one. Again, just about holding that one. Luckily, the DRS zone's just that little bit shorter. But Hussein looking for a move down the inside of Emil here, just about going side by side. Emil ahead, coming into this next turn, and will hold his position.
Or will he?
Lots of good battles.
Yeah,
lots of good battles.
Yeah, Emil's actually staying ahead there. It's not that easy if you have to approach this first turn to the S's far on the inside, as he had, because Hussein was outside. You get a way worse angle, and I mean, we saw it there. Hussein was looking to go side by side again, but couldn't find the space. Rapid also making it past through the stadium. And now it's Janneman putting pressure on Emils here. Ed has created a gap of more than a second, so he has escaped the DRS of his followers here.
Yeah. DRS not really offering up too much more as Emil now in P6.
Yeah. Behind that, the queue kinda stops, but I assume Jimsky and Seagull will soon make their way up. Hussein is probably gonna be able to attack Kingsman on the next start-finish straight. This one seems a little bit too short. Honestly, yeah.
Kind of a keeping in touching distance type one. Oh, we've lost Mr. Junior in the S's once more.
This does look like he just spun out and found the wall again. So
happened to him in qualifying in Challenger League.
I think,
happens
yeah,
to
I
him
see
here in Elite
Yanneman
League.
there into the pits, the only one of the top group to go. But everybody behind goes
Jimsky and
as
Ocean.
well, except Cherry.
Seagull Nitro. Yep.
Curious to see where you go from here. 30 laps is so much. It's probably gonna be another 2 pit stops, especially for the hard starters.
Seagull onto mediums,
Yeah,
Jimsky, Yanneman, Jimsky and Ocean onto hards, Yanneman onto mediums, Nitro onto mediums. So differing strategies there in the end, but regardless, you are looking at likely one more pit stop.
yeah.
So just, I think a couple of them looking to make up ground one way or another.
I feel
By
like the
time that,
benefit is now for Yanneman. He lost 1 position. But he is now on better mediums than the drivers around them. He has already driven
yes,
hards. So he can go
yes,
medium from here and so like have a slight advantage now and have a bigger advantage later when everybody else has to go for hards. So this is probably decent for him. Jimsky, I am not entirely sure if you can go to the end on hards from here. For Seagull is probably like the same logic as Yanneman. I don't think he lost any positions doing this, so just a win of getting fresh tires here.
may have lost one to Cherry, but
Oh yeah,
again,
yeah.
not
All of them lost one
not
to
so
Cherry.
much.
Yeah.
In the face of who they're now, their race really is up against. CO hasn't really, as you say, lost anything in that regard, and on the mediums with Yanman the only real one in front of him that's going to be a problem in that sense. With everyone else on 6 tires that are 5 laps older, and then obviously Jimsky and Ocean being on the hards, it wouldn't surprise me to see Seagull do his usual trick of just slowly but surely like climbing his way up the grid, where he just keeps himself out of trouble, and all of a sudden, P1, and that's kind of how he won the championship. Was just watching chaos unfold around him, and just this is fine, just sipping away at his wee cuppa, the fire raging around him, and he's just a happy little dog with a cup of tea and a bowler hat.
Yeah, Yeast is miles away still. Has been going into the pits again. I guess as the right call. Has been going in earlier for his hearts, I think. Now has adjusted to go back to the mediums like everybody else. Again, not quite sure if he's gonna catch up entirely. But yeah, presumably safety car's way slower through the S's here. And then Ed is probably going to slow the field down quite a sizable amount here, as I think safety car's probably going to come in the pits back here. Or is it? Oh, we're actually staying out for another lap. Okay, I did not... Okay, never mind. Man. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, of course, Ed is hella slow. He was like going 20 for a brief second, but why is everybody rear-ending each other?
What is Emil doing?
Yeah.
That's my next question.
Yeah, Emil's is just gone now. Like, what? Such a huge gap that they're doing their own restart or what? But, yeah. Oh my, it's not a good restart by Ed. Marcian and Kingsman both already passed, but actually Ed might be able to re-overtake on the first straight just by being overtaken so early and getting slipstream again after being overtaken. Weird restart by Emils, honestly. He left such a huge gap.
Yeah, it is a strange one, isn't it? It's now 1.8 behind Rapid. And, I mean, it's already a problem for himself and, the cars behind, but the biggest problem that really sets is for the guys like Yanneman, Jimsky, Seagull, Ocean, Nitro, who have now on new tyres and have to work them that little bit harder to make up the ground they thought they'd made up under the conditions of the safety car.
Yeah.
Seagull has already passed Ocean. I'm assuming that Jimsky will be next on his list, but Janneman battling with Cherry ahead. Jimsky having a look as Janneman does get through quite cleanly through Sector 3.
Oh, I think Seagull is gonna overtake Jimsky now, because Jimsky kinda ran onto the back of Cherry a little bit there. Lost a lot of speed there, a lot of momentum out of the last turn. Well, let's see what these guys do, side by
It
side.
might look go 3 wide. No, Cherry is behind, so that's not so much. Jimsky does stay ahead, but Cherry ultimately losing 3 positions there in the space of about 2 corners and a straight, which is unfortunate for himself. But on older mediums, was always going to be at the mercy of the quintuplets of pitting.
Yes, especially I think pace-wise as well. At least
yes,
Jimsky,
course,
Seagull, Janneman are for sure quicker than Cherry on pace. Marcelion finally has been able to be passed by Hussein and Rapid. Took them a while to make their way past the Ferrari, and now Rapid is trying to make a move on Hussein here on the inside.
Oh, contact between the two.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like Hussein was very far on the outside already, so might have been a move that was just not well possible there. But on the other hand,
a lot of cars here, and DRS now enabled, so this really makes things interesting. So Marcel Jan drops 2 cards back, really. I wonder if he was maybe told to give the position back to Rapid by the game. Because it seems like he gave that up relatively easily.
It might have been, honestly, because I think he ran wide in that turn and might have overtaken off track.
It's entirely possible. But it did just seem like, he was passed far, far too easily. But Rapid, using the DRS, gets through on Hussein as well. P3 for himself now. He's not going to get DRS from Kingsman, you would imagine, but showing good pace, actually. So, still within the realms of possibility.
Yeah, and now then, the group
that's not a long DRS section, is it? Coming up.
The group of Janneman, Jimsky, Seagull has arrived with the top group now. Just have to get quickly through Marcelion so they can keep up with Hussein, etc.
As Janneman does.
He's
forces Marcelion wide, and that allows Jimsky back into the fight on those hard tires. Still going toe to toe with Janneman here. They're side by side coming through. It might have been a little bit of contact. Jimsky forced slightly into the wall there. And Seagull maybe seeing an opportunity. Not gonna get it though.
He's not choosing to go yet. Oh my god, and there's contact between...
Oh, Jimsky has swiped Marcel Jan by the looks of things, who's lost his front wing. It's caused a safety car as well. Marcel Jan, without a front wing, down to 12th.
That is a bit of a yikes. Honestly, I don't know. Also interesting safety car, to be honest, because I am fairly certain I put it on reduced again. And to have a simple crash like this cause one is a bit of a surprise, to be honest. But now the question about pitting is like way harder to answer, because you're gonna lose a lot more if you go now because of the recent safety car we had beforehand. So it's not really an option, or a good option at least, for Ed, etc. to go.
Nitro getting a track limits penalty under the safety car is he's having a day. Well, we won't say it's a good day, but Nitro is having a day.
Did he get one now? Because I know there was one car that had one beforehand as well. That must mean he has like already two.
He's on 6.
Oh yeah, okay.
He's on 6 seconds.
Okay, people go into the pits.
And he's missing his end plate, if I'm seeing that right.
Oh lord. Maybe just
into the pit.
Crashed under a safety car.
It's entirely possible.
Softs for Ed. An interesting call. Do we have hearts for everybody else? which is probably the reasonable call because you can go to the end on the hards. I think Ed is just banking on another safety car.
Which, I mean, from what we've seen tonight, isn't the worst gamble that we've seen. Not by a long stretch. We've seen some pretty outrageous gambles in Challenger, and none of them in particular are really paying off. Maybe Daddy's going on to slicks early, but beyond that, not the most outrageous one from Ed, because again, for the amount of safety cars that we have had already tonight, another one in the next 24 laps, not out with the realms of possibility by a long stretch.
Well. Jimsky, Janneman, Seagull is gonna be our top 3 for now then. And then behind a lot of guys on fresh hards and Ed, of course, who is probably gonna try to go as far in front as possible and hopes that the other guys on the inferior hards can't make their way through the mediums, who should, I think, on 6 laps at least, still be better than the hard tire. So yeah, that is gonna be interesting to see whether Ed's strategy goes off. I think from what I've seen on this game in general, tire strats where you pit an extra time to get like softer tires rarely work. It seems just so much better to just go medium and hards because they are not much slower, at least not for long. So I really wonder how his soft tire gamble here is gonna pay off. And even if he can pit again on the safety car, he's still gonna lose a lot of time.
Imagine safety car will be in at the end of this lap as well.
I do think
Entire
so.
pack's caught up. And they were just clearing a front wing. So if it's taken them this long, then Mexico have really got to get better stewards.
Yeah, to be fair though, I mean, okay, yeah, honestly, like taking a front wing away shouldn't be too much, but if you think about it, like 2 laps of safety car is still only like 5 minutes. It's kind of crazy that they usually are able to get like car wrecks out of the way in such a short period of time.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, of
But
course,
just for a front wing.
yeah, it's in this
go.
lap. I mean, on this game, of course, it's always, I think, at least 2 laps, unless it is the last few laps, then it comes in after 1 sometimes. And I think a maximum 3 laps, so yeah. Jimsky with the restart duties here. Apparently, it's possible to restart a race without slowing down to 1 km/h as well. And he's going, and he is under attack immediately, I think. Yeah, from what I see, Janneman is already gaining. I would wonder if Jimsky stays ahead until the end of the straight. And there goes the Alpine.
Yep. Did not last particularly long, but that's the mediums up against the hards there. The hards will come good pretty soon. Not quite yet for Jimsky. The Seagull may well be the next one to try and pull a similar move. It's not going to have nearly as much of a straight and slipstream to do it with. But he'll cling to the back of Jimsky for now.
I do think we have... Oh my god, we have had some desyncs and a lot of collisions here. What is going on? Marcian and Hussein are just parking in a wall together.
Can't wait to see that one.
Yeah, that's gonna be reported. That looked so weird. Ed is currently trying to get past his teammate here. Not really leaving him much space on the outside. At the same time.
Kingsman.
And Yeast is gone.
No, Yeast.
I mean, I don't really get why...
Yeast, no!
Oh lord. Safety car, big gamble for Ed, I guess. Oh, what is going on
Saints
here?
back in it a bit.
Please. This is Challenger tier scenes right here. I mean, well, I don't even know what I
That'll
mean.
be at minimum an unsafe re-entry penalty for Yeast there, I would imagine.
It looks like it. Wonder how nobody got to
Well,
DNF
I mean,
though.
he didn't technically. I've seen it on the stream. He didn't technically leave the track,
Yeah.
but he did also
Mhm.
very quickly try and spin round and just
Yeah, I
straight
was
into
about to say.
Hussein's path.
Alternatively, it's
So
just dangerous driving instead of re-entry,
yes,
but yeah, it is wrong regardless of what you call it.
incredibly stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I get the frustration and stuff, like, you think like, oh yeah, I might just turn around real quick. But, yeah, that's kind of
You
yikes.
have to wait for your opportunity to turn.
Sherry has left the session.
Interesting. See what his AI does when he gets round to the pit.
I mean, pitting for mediums is probably not horrible here. I mean, he wouldn't lose much time anyways.
Oh, Yanneman into the pit with Ed and Kingsman.
Yeah, I
and
guess
MG.
pit. Oh, this is such a tough call though. Like, ay.
Yeah, Ed's gave up on his soft tires anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that was
Because there was
bound to
another
happen.
safety car.
Yeah,
It just happened, I think, a little bit earlier than Ed had planned.
that's true. Yeah, that really did not play out well for Ed. Interesting choice by Yanneman as well to sacrifice so many track positions to go back that far.
Fanta has confirmed that safety car is on reduced.
Ah, okay.
So
I did nothing wrong.
the entire purposes of him joining and leaving the lobby again there was to feed that information.
Could have probably checked that myself somewhere, but fair.
Would have been interrupting stream to do
Yeah.
so anyway.
We would never do that. Ocean
No,
and P3
never.
right now also is gonna be interesting here. Challenger drivers okay, I would say that
Mainly
as
just 'cause
Kingsman
he's-
is now down,
Yeah.
but Kingsman was up there
mainly
as
just,
well. Oh, Cherry
Oh, Cherry.
has retired.
Yeah. Yeah, because it was his AI, was it not?
No, he rejoined
Yeah.
briefly, but then I think he disconnected again. And there is like a bug where when you disconnect, your AI just retires.
Good. So it's now just parked up.
Yep, Cherry getting hit with the DNF bug. Cherry has joined. Well. Where's his car?
Heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's really pain. And this has I'm so baffled that they get away with this. Why are we playing this game, honestly? Like, EA this bug has existed for the entirety of this game. And there have been not even attempts to fix it. We have never had Formation Lab, as it was apparently still buggy, and it disqualifies you if you miss your parking spot, instead of resetting you as it's supposed to. iRacing Sundays when, yeah, time to go into paid subscription Sundays. Oh lord.
Does that mean we can actually dish out a prize pool as well?
Oh well, they have to be paying the game for the subscription.
Ah, well, you know.
I don't really.
If they're already paying for the game, they might as well pay us too.
True, right?
God.
They might just we might just take entry fees.
Yes.
Nah, it's probably not good if we do that. For tax and legal reasons and stuff. Probably
You're not wrong there.
harder to do that than to just say, okay, yeah, here's some of my money. Which...
So, again, we would think safety car in here.
Yeah.
It should normally get told around about now. It's normal as we come around here.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Just on cue. Damn, I'm getting good at this.
Yes, it's usually around the Sector 3 mark. So really track dependent where this thing happens, but... yeah. Honestly, it kind of sucks. It would be better maybe to like know it earlier, because what is Jimsky gonna do here? Like, how is he gonna restart this?
Probably the same way he did the first one,
Yeah,
just
because
absolutely sign it and ultimately get overtaken by Seagull. And he
yeah,
does.
because there's only one
Oh,
option. You can only. Oh my god.
Emil slowed down a little bit too much, and Nitro's just rear-ended him, so that's
Huh?
interesting. But we are away. And Seagull immediately onto the back of Jim Skeet. Rapid getting the better of Ocean as well by the looks of things. And Emil somehow ends up ahead of Lauda despite being backed up quite a significant bit again. So this time Emil's gamble pays off. Last time, not so much.
Oh well well. What else happened? Janeman, I think, got. Nah, he didn't get position, right? He was ahead of MQ anyways.
Yes, I do believe so.
Let's see. Marcian is in some battling here.
Nitro's just lost 2 places.
Yep. And I think Marcian is gonna be under heavy attack by Janeman as well soon.
So you'd expect.
Let's see if it is as early as the stadium section here. I don't think. No, Janeman's not side by side. I mean, why risk an overtake here?
Okay. There.
While I'm saying that,
Okay.
Marcelian is absolutely sending it.
Oh, there's some smoke there. I can't tell if there was contact. But a lot going on in that stadium section.
Yeah. And I wonder why. Like, just stay closely behind. Afterwards is the longest straight in eternity. Like, just overtake on the straight, man. You get the slipstream, you get an easy free overtake into turn 1. Just wait a second. Oh, Janeman and Marcian are negotiating their way through turn 1s to 3, but it is ultimately Janeman ahead.
Whatever happened through that stadium section, MQ finds himself now at the back of the grid.
A lot of
contact between himself and Kingsman. Janeman gains another place there on Ocean this time around, who is on 13 lap old hards. Seal on 13 lap mediums, still leading the way and has gained himself a bit of a gap going into this next lap where we should have the return of DRS.
Yes. So let's see. Lauda is probably going to be under some pressure here. I don't think Janeman is going to stay behind him after the next straight.
Right on Jimsky as well.
Yeah, Rapid and Jimsky now side by side. Rapid going back into the slipstream. And back out. Janeman. Ooh, and Nitro retired. In the pits, okay. Oh my god! Ay ay ay.
Ah, goodness me.
Yeah, that was not the cleanest re-entry, I'm not gonna lie.
No one's died there.
Yeah, I really
we
thought.
won't say that much.
Yeah, really thought both him and Hussein would DNF there, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, we know Rapid at times has found himself to be a bit hot-headed. So I'd imagine that re-entry was a little bit out of frustration.
I guess it was close, right? You can almost pull that off, but then again, like, he did not re-enter in a way where it wasn't on the racing line. This was like really well reacted by Hussein, etc.
At 5 seconds for corner cutting, and I wonder if that maybe happened during Rapid's re-entry.
5 seconds?
Mm-hmm.
You have to cut corner
because he gained a place as well,
okay.
and presumably didn't give it back as a result. So
fair. Rapid into
regardless,
pits.
Seagull even further ahead now.
Yep.
Emil coming up on him with 9 lap hard, so it may see Seagull pit soon because 15 lap mediums it's a long way to go. I would imagine the worst tires on track, considering only 15 laps, are Jimsky and Ocean's hards. anyone else on mediums is 5 or 6 laps. Rapid has had to pit after that contact with Jimsky.
Not entirely sure how long you can take these mediums. I assume for Seagull it is the correct move to pit soon, so that he does not stretch either of his stints too much. At the same time,
I think he was on hards, so there's a good chance that
yeah,
him,
he
the
can
same
go
as
medium
Yanman,
again.
would go mediums. Yeah.
And I think that is his plan even, but I'm not sure if he can just go like 6 more laps or something.
But I do think that, at least in terms of Formula Sundays anyway, that Seagull is our resident tire whisperer anyway. Very, very good at managing them. So he'll probably make them go, I would say, a couple laps longer, and then see if he can squeeze, 12, maybe 13 laps out of the mediums again. As Yanneman makes a move on Emil, look relatively comfortable. Really, it's just the use of the DRS there, and he's ahead a full car's length by the time the corner comes around. They'll be bearing down on Seagull with tires that are 10 laps fresher.
It is probably gonna be Yanneman to the end as well as Emil's, which is why I wonder how long these mediums actually last, because Yanneman would be at maths 20 laps in the end, Hussein 21, Emil's here even on 24-ish, which is probably well possible on the hards. But I wonder how long the mediums are actually good, because Seagull is losing out big time to Yanneman. Admittedly though, Emil's is as well, so Yanneman might just be lightning fast on these tires right now. But Seagull's tires seem like way worse. So let's see. It's probably gonna be an overtake for the lead here, Yanneman. With the DRS and with a long straight at his disposal. That's gonna be a relatively easy one, and he should usually be able to drive out a second window using DRS on this second straight, and then his fresher tires in the more technical sections of the track as well. So Hussein on the inside of Emil's here, also going through to P3. What else do we have? Ed is probably going to be an interesting case as well, in case the mediums do not last until the end. Then I think Ed is probably having the best cards to be net P1. If Emil's, I guess, will have to... actually, Emil's won't have to pit as well, so really depends on how long the mediums are gonna last. I'm really curious as of how long Seagull is gonna stay out as well.
Yeah, I think it'll be Seagull that really gives us that true indicator, as Hussein going down through with the DRS again. All too easy there. Seagull's not able to put up any sort of a defense. Is he maybe holding out for softs? I can't imagine so. But
I'm not sure if
he's losing too much time to the mediums at the moment.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that is worth as well, because he's gonna have to extend a lot on the softs as well. I think you would just take mediums twice, but then push all out, have all around better pace. And less pain, of course. What he's doing right now is, I think, just hoping for a safety car. Unless he thinks he can go to the end on this, but I don't think that is realistic.
Already outside of that second window as well, which, as you said, comes from that second DRS zone, with the one detection point, and then just the fresher tires from there.
Yeah, I think his tires are just Jova, and
cutting his losses where they are.
No safety car as well for him, so yeah, admitting defeat maybe, and going for one last stint of mediums. He's gonna have a lot of tire at his disposal here though. Only 11 laps, he can push these so hard.
But we'll have to do so from P10.
Yeah, yeah. It's a little while up until the top there. Especially Ocean ahead of him has like a huge window in front. Rapid.
I mean, some clean air won't hurt him, but
yeah, yeah.
at the same time, he's really got to send it from here.
But
ultimately, he has wrapped up the title, so it's not actually going to matter too much to him in the end.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I think he's gonna enjoy like having a little bit of a recovery drive here as well, especially since everybody tires are gonna be dropping massively towards the end. Like the hard runners are not as good anyways, grip wise, and the medium runners will have to extend their stints for like a very long time. Both Jannemann and MQ Kingsman, they all have to go 20 laps, and Hussein even has to go 21, so it's gonna be very tough for them in the end to keep their car on track, whereas Seagull can just freely push however he wants.
Hussein, I think, just about creeping into that 1 second window. As I imagine Jannemann seriously pushing the ERS to try and hold him off a little bit more. Could get interesting come this next detection point midway through Sector 2.
Yeah. Kingsman, Ed, and Emils are also very bunched up, but it does not really look like anybody is interested in making a move just yet. Hussein is gonna get DRS.
Yeah. And for what was ultimately in the last safety car anyway, rather a difficult position for him to be in. He had dropped right to the back of the grid. Finds himself in P2
Yeah.
with tyres that are just a lap older than Jannemann's as well. But again, those mediums still likely to drop off come the end of the race, and it's really just going to be a war of attrition for most of the drivers. The only ones really on any fresh sets are Seagull, Rapid, and Lauda. They do have a lot of ground to make up, but 9-10 laps to do so. Seagull putting in the fastest lap of the race as well with that clean air. And the 8 seconds that Ocean was behind MQ, Seagull is reduced to just 2.7.
Yeah, positional change here. Ed has overtaken Emils. Emils, I think, as of now, still has slightly... I honestly, Emils and Kingsman's tires are probably comparable. Ed's are slightly better. They are... Are they gaining? I'm not entirely sure if they're gaining on Hussein and Jannemann overall. I think it was 5 seconds a few laps ago, so there is maybe slight time gain for these guys. But then of course Hussein and Ed with the time penalties here. Jannemann not having one so far.
No DRS for Hussein is just going to be a little bit of an issue for him. As well as Kingsman does get ahead of Emil with the benefit of that DRS and takes all the way down to Rapid and Ocean before we see any more DRS kick in, but Ocean just concedes the position as it is, and Rapid with the DRS will just continue to increase that gap, and Ocean will be in the distance by the time we get to Sector 2. Just a small image in the rear view of Rapid's mirrors.
I mean, he's quite clearly losing a lot of time. Seagull in the meantime has caught up to MQ and already overtaken him. He's gonna advance and get to Jimsky in,
Not like
I'd
that,
say
but he's
2
like
laps or
4
so.
seconds clear of MQ Seagulls, making some serious ground.
Yeah,
Hussein has closed as well.
he could go really far, honestly. I'm not sure if he reaches the top 2 still, but I do believe he could be on the podium here. With, I wouldn't say without much of a problem. He still has to crunch. Yeah.
I can't see Jimsky on 22 lap hards being too much of a problem for him. By the time he catches Marcel Jan and Emil, it's going to be a very similar story.
I think Hussein might be taking the lead here in a minute.
Oh, he's got the outside, the inside line, sorry, there. And yeah, they keep it clean. Just about. And Hussein back to the front. But it's been an interesting battle between the two because, again, it's very, very similar tires. So they're trading their way through the DRS zones every, I think it's about 2 laps.
I don't know if Hussein was actually already ahead this race. So maybe he's... maybe I missed it, honestly. But I think it took him quite a bunch of time to even get past the Alpine. I'm very, very curious where this goes.
It's entirely possible I am misremembering, but I had thought that Hussein had got ahead and then Janneman got back in front, but I honestly, I couldn't tell you anymore.
Seagull at this point does in fact make light work of Jimsky, as you said before. It's not much that Jimsky can do. And he's now gonna approach Marcelian, who is not very far away neither. He's probably gonna fall in this lap as well.
Jimsky will get the benefit of DRS off a Seagull, but how much will that really do? It'll keep him in touching distance, but can't honestly see him taking the place back.
Really tried to push there. He had some ERS saved up behind Janneman, and has now used all of it to the extent that Janneman is now even with him again in ERS. But he has gained almost a second here, so it has worked
just
somewhat.
over a second, so won't be any DRS for Janneman here. You say might just be able to push on.
Yeah, of course. I think Slipstream still exists within like 1.5 seconds or so.
Yeah, Seagull gonna have DRS on Marcel Jan now though. He's still closing without it too. Marcel Jan with 3-second penalty.
Yeah, I mean,
also will not favour him. Easy for Seagull once more.
Yeah, it's
he
just
does somewhat force him wide.
There was space. I think it was more Marcel coming into hot as well, like seeing where Seagull was braking. And yeah, just not having the tire to go the same braking point. But yeah, Seagull just breezes through everybody else here right now, and by the pace he's going right now, he's gonna be at Emil's in probably a lap and a half, maybe 2, and then...
Well, he's already closed 2 seconds, which is
yeah.
Oh, sorry, no. Yeah, half a second already, but
his main time gain is gonna come in sector 2 anyways, so yeah.
Hussein has just solidified that gap. It's about 0.3 seconds larger than the last time they got to that detection zone. Just driving better. They've got similar amounts of ERS, but every turn he's sort of finding that, 500ths of a second and pulling away from Janneman. A Seagull now 2.5 behind Emil, so a second gained in what was ultimately 2 sectors there. Will continue to do so. He's already clear of Marcel Jan in terms of DRS and slowly climbing his way through the pack again, just as he likes to do. I think these are genuinely, I'm sure, some of his favourite drives where he just builds up, he sets down faster and faster laps and just picks drivers off one by one, lap by lap, and finds themselves in high scoring positions.
Yes, of course. Harder to do if Rapid is up there as well. So fortunate for him that Jimsky and Rapid, due to strategy, not really much of a threat right now. But yeah, he's having a magnificent drive right now. Or will have closed the gap to Emil's by the next DRS zone. And then Ed and Kingsman aren't really far away. I mean, with the time penalty, he's probably already P3.
Yes, not wrong there. So, but I think he will want to do it sort of on track at the very least. You would imagine that Janneman and Hussein are just a little bit too far gone for him, but we thought that might be the case quite early on when he did pit. But yeah, P3 would still be a really good result for Siegel. For someone who, didn't qualify and found himself at the front after a very early call on a safety car pit. The DRS just helping him get this move on Emil done. So he had already got a little bit of slipstream as well, so it gets it done nice and early, well ahead of the corner. Can now just focus on closing that distance between himself and Kingsman now.
Yes. Yeah, and I think that's not going to be a huge issue neither. I mean, again, he is within 3 seconds of Ed, so at this point he is net P3, but of course that is only if he himself does not collect another time penalty late on in this race. Let's have a look at the time penalties in general. 3 seconds on Hussein, 10 on Ed, 3 on Kingsman. And then everybody but Ed basically has 3, and Ed has
10. Which I think, as we touched on, 5 of that might be
removable.
Dodging,
okay.
the re-entry from Rapid, but just depends on, obviously, because I would imagine it came from him not giving the position back, and it's all determined by who he took the position from and how long they then took to catch up to him, and it is something that we will certainly have a look at, but can't account for the other 5 seconds at the very least, so it would still see him drop behind Siegel as it stands, who has made up about 7/10 now on the 2 cars in front of him.
He is zooming. And well, I mean, with that, I think Emils would pass both of these as well. He is about 3 seconds down of Kingsman. But yeah, Ed, of course, even if we only think 5 seconds by the
Oh well,
mind.
That was a caster's curse if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, they do tend to happen.
So at worst, Emil, you would still imagine will be P5 unless he does anything more drastic. So if it happens again, we are entirely blaming him for his inability to drive.
I guess Jimsky, as of now, gets past both Marcellian and Emils, but also Jimsky has age-old tires. So I'm not sure if he can hold the 5-second gap that he currently has to Emils. So Siegel in DRS range, and then we have Ed and Kingsman battling. Oh.
Siegel might get both here.
Oh,
goes side to side with Kingsman. Kingsman just backs out of it.
That was a nice little move there.
I think Kingsman realises that obviously carrying his 3-second penalty and Siegel already being on top of him, there's no real point in fighting it. You're better off just keeping it on track. Score the highest position that you can, which as it stands for Kingsman will still be P4.
Yeah. Which is honestly amazing as well again. I mean, of course he has been dominating Challenger for like a lengthy amount of the season.
Oh, and there's Jimsky's penalty.
Emils might not...
No, he might not slip down. He might go P5 in the end anyway.
Oh yeah, true, with Ed as well.
Janneman's still set to win the race, though, as Hussein hasn't got a 3-second gap yet.
I was so
only
scared
2
to
laps
say
to do it.
I was so scared to say it.
I mean, I will take responsibility for it.
Oh,
Just
Lord.
about every driver has a penalty, bar 3 that remain.
He has been so close so many times this season, so would really
Yeah,
be cool
and
if
normally lands himself a penalty in the last
yes,
2 laps
exactly,
or something silly.
and then
So
loses it. Yeah, so it would be cool
I
to
think
see it.
he's maybe being a little bit too cautious now. He doesn't want to get the penalty, but he's dropped another 3/10 back from Hussein. You either get it, Janneman, or you
Oh,
don't.
oh my god,
He's also on
I
low
think,
fuel.
yeah, I was about to say he might have to lift and coast.
Oh, God.
Because he has too low fuel, but we may see. We're keeping an eye on the gap, I guess, as it is.
Janneman's the one to watch here. Kingsman with a penalty. Still head, technically, but he will drop below Emil as a result of that
No,
penalty.
Emil's has 6 also.
Wait, Emil now is 6? What?
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, a battle for position, I guess, is gonna be Jimsky and Marslian still.
No, I still see Emil with 3.
Oh. Okay, then never mind. Oh, okay. Yeah, I might have...
Oh, Janneman might have done it. He's just done it
he's
on low
just done
fuel. He will come across. Second car across the line, but will classify as first place. Seagull with a great recovery drive to take P3. Emil up to P4.
Yeah. And Jimsky's gonna stay behind Marslian in the end. There is not getting past at this point.
What happened to Rapid? He was climbing. He was P9 at one point and is now P11.
I think he was like, I'm P9 anyways, I might as well get fastest lap. So he pitted for softs or something. Wait, we have actually Lauda and MQ are close together, but of course not fighting.
Oh, there's Ocean with a penalty, so it was only Janneman and Seagull that didn't have one. In the end,
31 lap old
Rapid comfortably. Fastest lap.
I mean, Jimsky, of course, surviving on these tires for so long is also
31
to be mentioned. Pretty much the entire race at this point.
Easy to drive compared to News.
Maybe the hards just get better as they go. But yeah, like, a very interesting race here, very varying strategies. I think there were few strategies here available that were like nice. Every single one was like kind of painful, and you have to concede a lot of positions, make a recovery drive. Like, I couldn't really name someone who had the perfect strat here. The medium runners had to push deep. Jimsky, of course, 31 lap old hards. The other hard runners also on very, very old hards. We have a new Elite winner here with Janneman, Hussein and Seagull on the podium as well. Seagull here as well, especially after he was so far down mid-race there. Big recovery with his late medium pit stop to get, I think, 8 or 9 drivers still to come home in P3. So yeah. What a season ender, I guess. Like, quite a banger race. So, yeah, top 3 we've just seen. Emil's getting another big finish as well here in 4th. Kingsman 2 in 5th. Had to concede 1 position due to time penalties in the end. Ed might jump up a little bit again. If we remove 5, he would be P4 instead. We'll see about that. I assume it's going to be getting reported. Yeah, Marcian getting some points as well, but will ultimately lose out in the Jan battle now, given that Janneman has won and will have gained the 5 or 6 points he needed. Jimsky was a hard race for him, really. Long stint on the hards. 2 AlphaTauris here, the last one to claim points. Rapid was caught up with Jimsky there briefly, and well, our last 2 finishes outside the points, unfortunately. But yeah. Well. Dude, we have not rehearsed this at all, I guess, like, with info for the new season, but I've said before, we're gonna do another season. Sign-ups are expected to be opening soonish. It's probably not gonna be changing much on the way things are going. There is likely gonna be an Easter break, if you're already wondering about that. There's gonna be off-season events that we will announce in time. It is really just the usual. We will get one more season on this game in, and yeah, can expect, I think, an off season of 2 or 3 weeks or so, as usual. So yeah, thanks to everyone for driving this season in both tiers. Some of you even. Thanks to you, Solar, for casting, for Herbie if he's watching, and of course for the great admin team I have around me, as I wasn't able to do much work during my bachelor's here. That is hopefully going to be finished this week. And they have been doing a lot to help us out here. So yeah, enjoy your evenings, everybody, and yeah, we'll probably see you around in the preseason events. Good night. And it's lights out and away we go here in Formula Sundays. Through the final chicane, and the AlphaTauri hits the wall of champions.